New England, if there is a God, New England will win. Is that what you're telling me?
New England must win.
Really?
New England has to win this game. Do you know how mad Saints fans will be? New Orleans Saints fans will be up in arms if the Rams win this game.
JT Thurn is from ESPN 99 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and this week he missed the volar vortex altogether and is in Atlanta. Dude, you missed all the cold weather, right? You're in Atlanta. Welcome to Keel, by the way. I'm Robert. That's Aaron. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I was able to miss, I believe it was at the worst, 23 below was the actual temperature, and at one point it was like 52 below with the wind chill. And like it was so funny because down here in Atlanta on, I think it was Tuesday, they canceled schools because of the projection that there might be snow, but the sun was out. It was like 38 degrees. So I had some good laughs with the locals, man. I had some good laughs with the locals.
It's fascinating you say down here in Atlanta. We say up there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Just as
right.
So,
your hometown is Sioux Falls?
That is correct, yeah. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So, like, usually this time of the year, they send me to a place where I get sort of like a free vacation. Last year, they sent me up north to Minneapolis for the Super Bowl. So it was even, I don't care if it was in the 30s or 40s, I was wearing shorts earlier this week just because I wasn't freezing my butt off back in Sioux Falls.
JT, please tell me that the Rams are not going to win this game. You're talking to folks in Louisiana. We are still PO'd down here.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are a little bitter about what happened at the NFC Championship game. I did see yesterday that a federal judge ordered those fans that had filed a lawsuit that they would not be doing a redo of the NFC Championship game. So we're going to actually get to play this Super Bowl. But, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but everyone seems to be picking the New England Patriots. And when typically everyone's picking one team, ultimately the team that everyone's picking doesn't usually win. So I would say watch out. The Rams have a decent chance to pull this off. I think it's a very evenly matched Super Bowl. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to big plays, as it typically does in this game. And both coaches are really good. Both defenses can play really good. And obviously Tom Brady has the edge over Jared Goff. But, yeah, I can't confirm or deny that won't be a bad Sunday for all you Saint fans.
So, I mean, you started to break it down just a little bit for us there. Take a couple more minutes and give us your JT Sports Is My Life breakdown of the Super Bowl. Who do you think's going to win? And because
how close?
Because, honest to goodness, if you look at the rosters, if you go down the respective rosters, the Rams, you got to give the edge to the Rams. Do you agree?
Absolutely, I agree. And I actually picked the Rams 34-21 to win the game. I just think it was an interesting conversation I had with former NFL tight end Chris Cooley yesterday. He calls Redskins games and works in D.C., and he was telling me that one of the things about the way that Tom Brady is so methodical is that he's able to see what defense these teams are in, zone versus man, better than anyone else because of the way that Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator with the New England Patriots, sets up their plays. They'll either throw a tight end or they'll throw a running back in motion. And then if a guy goes with him, obviously they're in man. And if everybody stays set, they're in zone. And so if Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator with the Rams, can somehow disguise their defense for an extra second or two, it's going to give an advantage to the Rams. Now, that's easier said than done because everybody in the NFL knows that's what you need to do. But Wade Phillips is a vet, man. I mean, this guy, it's sort of funny because we talk about the age disparity between Bill Belichick and Sean McVay and Tom Brady and Jared Goff. Well, it's the flip side of things with the Rams because you have a guy in Wade Phillips who's much older than Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator with the Patriots. So if he can somehow figure that out and give his defense an extra second or two to where they can disguise their defense, it's going to allow Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald to have an extra second to get after Tom Brady. And, any gas-bagging idiot that does this for a living can tell you if you put Tom Brady on his butt, you're going to have a better chance to win the game. So I'm just expecting them to do that, to come up with some sort of plan, because even though everybody focuses on that final drive there for New Orleans in the NFC Championship game, New Orleans' offense didn't look right in that game. Like, we saw them explode all year. It was so fun to watch them, especially at home. And when you're held, 16 or 13 at the half.
So true, yeah.
The defense was able to do something there. So if you can slow down New Orleans in their house a little bit, I expect that they're going to be able to slow them down a little bit here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What do you hear is the problem? What is the problem? What do you get behind the scenes? What's the deal with Todd Gurley, Rams running back?
he's got to be hurt, man. I mean, you're not getting a definitive answer. Nobody's being honest with you, but there's no way that dude's right. I mean, as much as C.J. Anderson has been relied on, it's been a good story, but when you have one of the best running backs in the league and you're not using him, there's clearly something wrong with his health right now.
A while back there was that thing. It was a Reebok sponsor. Saw it on Facebook. It was Tom Brady, Tom versus time. And when you talk about intangibles, one of the points Brady makes is, I have given up my life for this. Are you willing to do the same? Are the Rams, in your mind, evidently you think so, they are capable of overcoming a man who is generally regarded as the greatest of all time, who says, I have given up my life for this. You agree?
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, I just think they're so committed. You know, Sean McVay is one of those guys that everyone you talk to, he's an absolute football genius. You know, he does so many things that is innovative, but he also is like up every day at 3 a.m. You know, the people you talk to say he goes to bed at 11, he wakes up at 3. He has committed his life to the game, and I think the Rams are willing to do what it takes to win this game. And I think that's the thing that's going to be interesting with the Rams moving forward. There's a good chance that this Rams team is going to continue to be able to be viable because they have Jared Goff on a rookie contract. They're in a market where they're willing to spend a lot of money. And so I just think the commitment level of what we've seen from Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is the mold for anyone that wants to have a dynasty or a run like they have.
What's the scene in Atlanta now, and where will you – have you actually got a media pass? Are you going to be on the field, in the press box? What's your plan for the day?
So as far as Atlanta's concerned, every day it's gotten busier from a media perspective. Like the first day we're on Radio Row, you know, it's probably 50% full, and by yesterday, it's probably 150% full. Like, everybody's walking around, and it just becomes crazy, and it's chaotic. But for me, actually, this year, I'm not going to the game this year. I usually go to about 3 out of 4, and that number has dwindled because now I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old at home. So my wife will literally kill me if I go to every single one of them and stay, 10 days out of town. And actually, I got to call a game on NBA TV for the G League affiliate in Sioux Falls. So I'll be back, calling the game at noon. I'll be sitting on my couch watching the game like everybody else. But to be honest with you, and this doesn't always bode well with the diehard fans because everybody would love to go to a Super Bowl. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a great experience. I've been to, 6 or 7 of them so far. But to be honest with you, after you go to one or if your team's not in it, it's just as much fun to sit and watch the commercials and enjoy it at home because literally it is a 8-hour event with security and with everything else. And then when you're done, you don't have to brave all the angry fans that lost the game. You can literally flip the TV off and go to bed and really enjoy the game.
JT, the Rams just cannot win.
Nothing says...
I'll be so mad and I'll be so upset.
Nothing says Super Bowl like a 60-degree temperature change. We appreciate your time, JT. Have a safe trip home. It knocked it out of the park, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, y'all. Have a good one.
You bet.